Hello, and welcome. I am Red Pill Daniels, and today's topic living by yourself versus living with someone else. Your experience. Well, my experience is that my first roommate I lived with was in Alabama. Now, this first roommate came out to be, nice, and, we got along with each other. After he left, and my second roommate was kind of an asshole. He was a thug. He was irritating. But somehow I had to get along with this guy. Somehow I had to work things out with this guy. During that period of time, I had to, work things out. He's had to drive to work with him and, work with this guy. Towards the end, I didn't really get along with this guy. End up getting in arguments with him, end up getting in fights with him, and things didn't work out. So in the end of that situation, end up just had to get away from that guy. And that period of time, I was by myself. Now living by myself is a great feeling. I didn't have to deal with nobody's BS. I didn't have to deal with stress, and everything just felt just right. Living with people can be right. Shadow Monk.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Today's topic is living by yourself versus living with someone you experience. Let me shut this thing down in the background. Hello?
Yo, what's up? Yes, sir.
Yeah, the topic is living with living by yourself versus living with someone else your experience. So what's your
On my,
experience?
so I currently I've been living on my own since right after
Yep,
the
I
military.
can
So
you.
I've been out. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I've been living on my own. It's a great experience. So you have freedom. Someone's that you hey do this, do that. Everything's on your own. Of course, you got to pay bills and stuff, but the freedom though, you can't take that away. Versus rooming up with somebody, even if it is cool. Like it's cool to see them from time to time, but all the time you get sick. You just enjoy your own space, man. You can sleep whenever you want, play a video game whenever you want. Just have that, that quiet. And from my experience living alone, it ain't all colors and rainbows because you gotta pay bills. You gotta live, you gotta be an adult, take care of your responsibility. Overall, it's great to be your own man. Do things your own
Yeah, I mean, living by yourself is great, man. You don't have to deal with BS. You don't have to deal with danger. Living with other people, you tend to get in trouble a lot. You tend to get into fights. Like the roommate, I'll tell you that I was living with in Alabama. The second roommate, I ended up getting in a fight with the guy. I ended up whooping the guy ass at the end of it, but nothing to
or
brag
physical
about.
fight.
Yeah, like a physical fight, because he tried to actually throw punches. I just kept putting him in the chokehold and all that crap. And then he tried to come at me again. I put him in no chokehold. He's like, help me. He tried to call somebody because I put him in a chokehold. But the landlord just said that you guys don't need to fight no more because the next person who fight end up going to jail. So the end of it is he just end up just getting away from me, which was great, and that was the end of that.
Yeah,
Did that? Yeah,
yeah, that's a good thing. It's good that y'all settled it and gone.
yeah, man. The guy was kind of like a thug. He called himself a thug, and I don't like being around those type of people. The majority of them piss me off, just as well as women.
like you can't. It's a price you can't stand. You know, you got to think of your own accord. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you're breaking up a little bit. I don't know what it is.
Ah, probably my internet.
Uh yeah, I've been having internet problems too, but it's that I fixed that issue. But my other roommate was the white female I was talking about. So I
Oh,
went to actually go live with her and her landlord. She had like mental issues and stuff like that. Yeah, I had sex with her, whatnot, but you know, living with her was just terrible. It was just terrible, man.
well, yeah, sex with her. Damn.
Yeah, yep.
You
That was
like her?
actually yeah. At first, I was developing feelings for her. That was that time I was blue pill. You know, I got along with her. You know, we helped each other out, such and such. So the problem was that it was not only her; it was her landlord. It was the other person that was living there. She was a lady just like in her 50s. She was somewhat racist, put it that way.
Oh,
Yeah.
figure.
Landlord was like Haitian.
She was Haitian. She was racist against you.
No, okay, the landlord was Haitian. There was another lady named living there. Her name was Tamara. She was in her 50s, I think. Yeah, she was somewhat racist.
She was
And then
white.
yeah, she was white. Yeah. And my roommate, her name was Stephanie.
Damn.
Yep. Yep. Neighborhood was peaceful, but the people I was living with were just like off mental issues.
And a lot of women say they have mental issues.
Yep. A lot of women just losing it, man. Was staying away from them now.
That's the best thing to do.
Yep.
Stay away. That's what
But
I do.
yeah, but my roommate, she was bipolar. She was, you know, she liked my landlord a lot. She tried to get my advice on it. I'd say I ain't got no advice for you. I don't know what to tell you. Having sex with him, having sex with me. At sometimes at point she would talk some committing suicide and she cut her wrist and all that crap. Had been Baker
Man,
Rabbit 2 times. I went to go see her. At the end of it, the reason I moved out because I had a problem with the other lady. Yeah, I bumped into her real hard when she was in the kitchen. She hit me in the back of
oh,
the head, but she hit me in the back of the head, but I ain't feel it though.
is she an older lady?
Yeah, she like an older lady, like in her 50s.
Damn, man. They just won't leave you alone, man.
Oh, that was like 2015, happened in 2015. But the reason I moved out anyway because everybody there was just crazy and had mental issues. So my mom just told me that you need to just get out, just move from over there. It's not safe to live over there, and you don't need to live with those people. That's what she told me. And she was right. You know, I didn't want to just really live with those people.
Yeah, because you moved out.
Yep. Yep. Somewhat great experience just being around her temporarily, but you know how women get later on, show their true colors.
Yeah, right, man. But yeah, I just want to, come up real quick. I'm busy with a lot of stuff right now.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, but appreciate you for letting me on, man.
All right, man. All right, peace out.
All right, peace. Peace.
Yep. But my other roommate, as of 2017, was a black female. Now, I actually didn't actually room with her, but she was like next door to me, to put it lightly. So, you know, she had a problem with her ex boyfriend. I go outside. She's chasing the guy around the car and stuff like that. Because I guess he didn't pay child support or he was not supporting or whatnot. You know how that go. Then after he left her life, you know, some things were just normal at first. Then, years later, she was acting up. She went to my neighbor's house and she was doing favors. He was doing favors for her and she was doing favors for him, as in, picking her up from work and taking her to work. So, you know, down the road, she get out the man truck and then she had an argument with him. I don't know what the argument was, but so he decided just to not just do things for her anymore. She got upset. She put her hands on the guy, and the guy hit her back. Now the guy couldn't really get into more trouble because he didn't want to get arrested. But this girl was just absolutely nuts, and she needed to go. She gave my other roommate named Ricky a lot of problems. He was actually scared of her. So he called the police on her, and the police didn't do anything. The police just say that you guys need to stay away from each other, so on and so on. So, that situation went on and on until he got tired and he said, I need to move out. So the guy just ended up moving out. Let me see if I can get some more people in here. But, living with people, my experience is just not to just live with people. Point blank period. It's not to live with people because living with other people can be stressful, can cause you your life, getting a lot of physical fights. You name it. You just name it. Just not good living with people. Period. I like living by myself. I like being in peace. I don't like living around drama. I don't like actually to invite people to my house unless I feel comfortable around them. But just living with people, that includes your mom, your grandmother, your brother, you name it. Because sooner or later you can get in an argument with them, you get stressful over them, and that's not a good thing. But I did at some point completely live by myself in Alabama, and that was a whole lot better experience. And the reason I moved from Alabama because financial issues. Now, if I didn't have any financial issues, I still would have been in Alabama, completely living by myself. My current situation now is that I am somewhat in peace. My roommate is okay. He suffered from depression, but he's sometimes irritating and like an older guy. But that's okay than dealing with a thug, a person that's causing trouble, a person that's putting your life in danger. That's better than living with those type of people. Yeah, I just don't like to be irritated as well because that caused me to get frustrated, caused me to get upset. But let me see if I can get some more people in here. But just living by yourself is a great, great thing. Now, living with my parents, let's go with my grandmother first. Of course, my grandmother's older now, and I'm not living with her. I go and see my grandma from time to time, and that's about it. And I do things for her, and that's about it. But living with my grandmother was actually just, it was somewhat terrible. It was somewhat just terrible. It was good at some points, but it was just terrible. He'll argue every day and yell and scream, and I couldn't be around that. I just couldn't be around that. some points just living with people, I told myself I wish I just actually just lived by myself. And at some point I got my wish. Other guys that may come on here, I don't know. I just don't know. But I do know me living with other people is not for me. It's not for me at all. But let me see if I can still get some people on here. Well, I'm waiting. But also living with women is definitely a terrible thing. I probably get flagged or banned, but I don't care. Living with women is just terrible. White female friend I was just talking about, living with her was okay at some points. Until the end, it got terrible, and I couldn't live by that anymore. I love my mom. Living with her too was somewhat just terrible, and I still speak to my mom to this day forward. Living with my aunt was definitely terrible. I don't speak to her no more because she caused a lot of problems, not only towards me but towards other people she know, she don't know, and including my family members. Some of my family members won't speak to her. Nobody wanted to live with her. Right now, she lives with my grandmother, and she's in her 60s. And if you old enough, you should have your own place. She had her own place. She living by herself. That wasn't good enough. But living with other people, my experience is terrible. And I would, if I have the opportunity, I just want to live by myself. No stress, no pain, no headache, no danger. Just me. That's completely me. See if I get some people in here. I'm the only person that's talking now. uh, but living with someone was great at first. And let's go with my first roommate in Alabama. He's a Giants fan, and we got along. I got along with him. He was somewhat, you know, speaking Ebonics and talking hood, but I got along with the guy. There's some people I live with and actually got along, and I never got into an argument with them. That turned out okay. But living with them down the road, things could get worse. It could get worse, could get better. I don't know. See if I can get some people in here. But me, nope. Can't live with other people. Living with a group of people is just terrible. Living with a group of people, like three, four, five people, that's terrible. These people actually touch your stuff, touch your belongings without asking you. Yep. To join. Uh, just me talking tonight. Anybody want to come on the panel? James, you want to come on the panel? Let me know in the comment section. You know, cause I'm a one man band right now. You know. Uh, but right now, I live with my roommate. He all right, somewhat irritating, but I'm okay with it. Yep, he all right. James, you still in the comment section? Let me know. But okay, let's see. What else? Let's see who else. What else? What else can I talk about? Hmm. Any more roommates I had in the past? Trying to think. Any more roommates that I know of, but the ones I talked about, they were all just terrible. They were all just terrible. And when I get the opportunity, if I have enough money saved up, I'm definitely going to, completely live by myself. James, you still in the comment section? I guess not. But also just living with them, go back to living with women. Women like to be friendly at first. Some would come off harsh. Some would actually just cause trouble. Now, like again, the one next door, she was friendly at first, and then years later, she just started acting up. The story is that she tried me. She actually tried me, and that didn't go so well. I don't let people talk to me any kind of way. Since I was live, I don't live alone. Okay, I was live. I don't. Since Red Sigma. Hey, how you doing, man?
Red Pill Daniels, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Okay,
Yeah.
today's topic is living by yourself versus living with someone. Your experience.
I can tell you right now that living by myself don't have as much headache. It's more peaceful. But when I'm living with someone, it's always a pain. You gotta consider their needs as much as you consider yours.
Yep, that's true. That's actually true.
When you live by yourself, you only gotta look out for yourself.
That's actually true. Absolutely true. That's how I was talking to Shadow that I was living with this white female. She's white female friend I went to high school with. Living with her was at first was okay,
Okay.
but it went downhill because she suffered like bipolar and stuff like that. And
Oh God.
I mean, I had sex with her. Don't get me wrong, the sex was okay, but
Okay. Interesting.
she suffered just a lot of mental issues. Not just
She
say I
didn't
had.
falsely accuse you now, did she?
No, she didn't.
Oh, good.
She didn't. Mm-mm. But my experience just living with people, terrible. The first roommate, I mean, the second roommate I lived with in Alabama. The guy was a thug and all that crap. I had to somewhat get along with him
Okay.
to work things out. It was somewhat, okay at first,
Right.
but like as we was going to work, maybe like on that second week, because I was in Theodore, Alabama, and then we had to drive all the way to Pensacola to get to a job. We had to do construction.
Okay.
So, I get in the car, the guy talking shit early in the morning. I didn't want to hear it.
Right. You were just trying to get to work.
Yep. There go Mr. Eugene. Hey, how you doing, Eugene?
Black pill and steroids.
It's great to see you guys. How you doing?
I'm
good.
doing great. I'm doing great.
Doing
Today's topic, Eugene, is living by yourself versus living with someone. Your experience.
My experience is that a woman has nothing to offer me. I realize that,
Facts.
short-term gratification, it's like cocaine, isn't it? You can have so many fucks with a woman. It's like having sherbet around your mouth all the time. And after a bit, you get bored of the sherbet, and I think for myself personally, like you guys, that I love my own company. I get a lot more things done. I have no drama, no headaches. I have no sort of emotional turmoil. And I don't have to worry about this fucking thing where I've got to hold this masculine game just to please a princess mentality woman who's self-entitled, who's never had to do a day's life work and just can't work in her own emotional accountability. So for me, short term, I love my own company, and I don't really need a woman to make me
I
happy.
mean, remember, modern women can't be pleased by anything we do. So
That's it, yeah. And basically, it's like, being a Pavlovian dog, isn't it, really? You're there fucking bending over backwards for treats, because we've been so idealized to look at a praying mantis as a beautiful Cinderella. It's
right,
like a female mantis on the
you're
bed getting married to the
you're
male
still a
mantis.
praying mantis at the end of the day. You're not a
Yeah.
princess.
Well, you know what the thing is, though? She gets in the bed because the son of the mother mantis goes in the bedroom, and then the female mantis who's married says, "You know what happens next, don't you?" "No, my mother never told me." And that's how it goes, isn't it, really?
Yep.
We don't understand female nature. So, yeah, to me, short-term gratification of sex and approval, female nature, shadows in comparison to loving yourself, your own company, doing the things that make you happy, and living in your authenticity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
I was blue pill back in 2014, 2015, 16, and that's it.
I was going through the red pill rage at that time.
I wanted to have sex with my female friend.
Oh.
Come to turn out, that went downhill, man. That went
Yeah.
downhill, and that put me in a state of depression for 3 years.
Now, I have looked at Minister Jazz videos where he talks about basically being with the spicy Latina and the Asians, about how they're better than the black women. But my thing is, even if you get one of them, that doesn't change the fact that if she's from here, it's no different. And
Yep.
if they were as developed as our country today, you wouldn't be talking about them in a positive light.
So, how do you think how's the dating market happening over in the States, gentlemen? How are the women coping?
It's terrible.
It's getting terrible. It's getting terrible every day.
It's a minefield.
You think women was somewhat worse back then? It's getting much worse now.
No. They're worse now compared to back then.
Yeah, I mean, I just see with a lot of women in the UK, I think they're beginning to panic now. I'm seeing a lot of women at the gym thotting now, getting the fucking sweatpants on for Christmas. I want Santa to give me some dick of a chad in my stocking. But it's like I see the women now are looking more for security, and it doesn't matter what kind of job you have now.
So the guys in the United Kingdom are keeping their guard up.
Trust me, hypergamy never sleeps. And it's amazing now. And I'll just go off topic a tiny bit, guys. Now,
Go ahead. It's cool.
What's happening in the UK now, right? Interest rates are going up, so we're starting like you guys going into hyperinflation, and we could have another lockdown now. We're having a circuit breaker lockdown, so more women's jobs are going to be affected.
Yep.
And so again, it's the thirst. It's like what RPM says: when the power goes out, feminism goes along with it.
Everything that feminism benefits from will go out right along with it.
And the funny thing is, gents, right? What I love about this, right, is that all the women with their own hypergamy wanted the CEO, wanted the successful entrepreneur. Where are they now on universal basic income, on the government handouts?
I mean, hell, I'm looking at everything right now, and all I can say is, what did you expect? What did you expect from bashing us? What did you expect from emasculating us?
Well, to us, it's just shits and giggles, though, Sigma. It's just shits and giggles because we saw so far ahead down the line of what's going to happen. But I want to tell you on something very serious, gents. I'm going to be careful how I word this now. But because people have taken the magic potion, right, and we know that a lot of mankind's going to be extinguished like a fire when you've taken the magic potion, you know about that.
Yeah.
But this is the thing where you've got to ask yourself now, guys, because I know we've had a lot of division regarding male and female, but if you've got the human population on the verge of extinction, now if you're pure blood, your unvaccinated sperm is worth more than Bitcoin. So you've got to think about, are you going to actually go back out now, renegotiate, but rebuild the family after it's been nearly genocide?
Hell no.
Nope. That's it, man. That's it.
Hell no. Hell no.
I mean, this is one thing. I'm asking another question, then, guys. When civil society breaks down, right, which it's going to happen anyway, civil society breaks down, there's a fighting over resources. Dating has completely gone to hell. Chad and Tyrone are trying to fight over resources like the women. and those red pill guys, black pill guys are in great positions. Now, say if the population, right, went down to 3 billion because people took the magic sherbet, would you repopulate to have a child and rebuild a new society, or would you just let it crash?
I'm letting it
Let
fucking crash.
let it crash.
I'm gonna be like I'm like a Decepticon. I'm letting
Let
this
it crash.
shit fucking burn.
Yeah, and that's it now, because, like you say, we've gone too feminized, guys. And we've got to admit,
Very.
guys, I was training today in the gym, right? And I'm not lying to you. I just saw all these beta males, in the gym. I have no idea, no awareness what we've got, and what we've got as MGTOW, black pill, and red pill men is we know so much about female nature and the intersexual dynamics that the thing that women fear is men's own complete indifference, like Hammerhand says. It's not about love or hate. It's the complete indifference, the emotional shutdown.
Trying to basically deal with trying to find a traditional woman is nothing more than a fantasy these days. That's just what I look at it as now. It's just nothing more than a fantasy that led to many men's deaths and sadness and suicide. Because they think that they can be just like that movie character that managed to fit in with society, even though it was never meant to be that way.
Well, you know what, though? I do see it both ways, though, because I think we've both been society programmed. And I'm seeing this a lot more now as a black pill, that, women have been programmed with the perfect man, the best looking man with all the corporate like logos and the nice car, the fancy lifestyle, the champagne lifestyle, and that in a sense, and this is how the elites have done it. They've kind of hollowed out women to be more materialistic, so they get rid of their maternal nature. They engineer them to think like men. They've been socially conditioned because they are the byproduct of the system, women. They're easily to be reprogrammed because they run on emotionalisms, and they think more intuitively, and they're able to build more of imagination a lot stronger than men because they're more in tune with this sort of creating a false reality out of emotions. But us guys, we've kind of been over-sexualized to look at women as nothing but dear and innocent, but we know the praying mantis, a praying mantis insect will eat the man after she's had sex straight away, but a female human praying mantis drags it out over years because, as you know, a woman's a shareholder in the company of a relationship, and every time that man matures in his financial endeavors, when he accrues more interest with his finance and resources, she sees that cash pile building up as they pay the mortgage off the house, and then she financially detonates him and turns feral like Wolverine out of the X-Men.
Not even Wolverine like X-Men, Sabretooth.
yeah. Or Magneto, you could say, just rips him apart. All the iron in his blood.
No, not even like Magneto. Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix.
Oh, really? Yeah, and that's the thing, because it's like when you go red pill, it's like that Pence scare, because that Pence stare at like Ghost Rider, you look at the women and they know you're red pilled. I mean, I think with you guys, though, when you walk around in the gym or you go in your day-to-day business, women can actually detect your vibe because you've got so much self-awareness and so much like biological self-mastery that the women do not know how to approach men like that. They find them MGTOW men and red pill men and black pill men very attractive, but they don't know how to respond or speak to them or approach them because our awareness goes right past biology. We're on such a high level of vibrational frequency of understanding our reality that they see women are handicapped like this because they've been so heavily programmed into thinking that it's all about looks, money, status, and getting all this free stuff from the government during lockdowns and trying to enhance their empty lives on social media, and they've kind of tied themselves to this instant gratification of needing likes and approvals of other people, which helps the narcissist to fuel and supply on the social media. It's like a daisy chain. But us guys as MGTOW red pill men, we've really kind of introspected and we've gone so deep within ourselves. We've gone through the nihilism, the pessimism, the hate, the anger. We've looked at all the biological components and we realised that, we've got to just basically pick up the broken pieces, what the red pill rage did to us, rebuild that jar and make it into something nice. Like you are the clay maker, as both of you red pill men. You are the clay maker. You put your new awareness, your new personality, and your new intellect down, and you start to form it, and you kind of make the jar around the wheel and forge it with your hands to remake who you are as an authentic person. Because the reason why we've gone through the red pill rage and I've gone through the black pill rage is because being a man has been suppressed from our primary school, our secondary school, by our parents,
Facts.
by religious institutions, and all this
By almost
masculinity
everywhere.
has been pushed right to the back of the subconscious, the unconscious mind, should I say. So we've had this wrestling by not allowing the unconscious mind, the suppressed authentic self. And then when we take the red pill, and when we meet men like yourselves, gentlemen, when we meet each other like this in a room of power and masculinity, this is where the free-flowing authentic man comes from. And women do not know how to cope with an authentic man, because
Right.
we are representing of what our forefathers were in the First and Second World War, if not going back further than that, by having these masculine animalistic traits, but also backed with logic and principles.
Yep. You also have these beta males and these blue pill men that keep living with women, that keep being around with women, and
Right.
they don't
They
understand
don't
that.
even realize that that's a risk. False
They don't understand it.
accusations, baby daddy coming to beat their ass. Cops.
I mean, that's the thing, because, you know, as you know, men are basically tied to their own biology. They're tied to their own biology, and it's like they can never escape it. It's a prison for them, you know. And again, what do the elites do? They promote pornography, so they desensitize men to relationships, so they don't really value women as a feminine vessel, and they kind of devalue men to the point where basically they're nothing but consumer goods. So we've kind of had this hollowing out where women look at men nothing but a resource. His only value is external, you know, not intrinsic, such as love, compassion, loyalty, self-sacrifice, and equal reciprocation. Basically, guys, we've been through a whole fucking mind fuck where both men and women have been inverted to be different from what they are. But as back then, masculine and feminine used to be complementary, they used to be symbiotic. But for men and women to come together, it would take over 100 years to undo all the social programming. This would mean burning all the Walt Disney, all the hookup culture tapes, all the Sex and the City movies, start a clean slate. It would take 100 years to deprogram the whole of society and start back from what it used to be. But I can't see it happening now. Unless we have this collapse and it wipes out the generations of men and women completely, then that's the only way we're going to build back up.
I don't see that. I don't see that in 100 years. I'll be gone by then. I'll be gone, but I don't see that happening in 100 years too.
I'd be dead at that time, man.
But look at it this way, though. Don't you believe that in a certain way, though, no matter wherever this society goes, there's always going to be a reset where men and women will become more enlightened than our generation. I mean, here's one for you guys, right? The millennial generation, what we have today, is the worst. You know, the baby boomers, my mum's generation and my nana generation, they were a lot better, more morals. It's like my own sister, my own family. She's got like multiple body counts of guys she slept with, you know, because she's a millennial. Millennial got social media, you know. But when I look at the boomers and I look at like the Generation Z, they've got more of a long-lasting bond between the relationships. Because let me tell you one thing, guys, right? This is one thing of looking at relationships. Now, just a quick sort of like story. I was watching an 80s video, right? I like electric dance music, right? And what I was realizing, I was looking at the nightclubs of both men and women, right? They had no cell phones, they had no alcohol, they was in groups socializing. Women, right? Now, let me tell you about the thing about the women and what I liked about the 80s women, the the baby boomer women then back then, right? They were more individualized. They wore their own styles. They weren't collective. They weren't like just being in girl groups. They were dancing for the music. The guys were dancing for the music. They were more interactive
People
back
back then.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, if I could go back 40 years, I'd fuck this generation off and get a girlfriend then, because a lot of them are still married today. But the women in our generation, guys, you might as well just forget about it, bury relationships. Because from the boomers' time, from the boomers' time, honestly, guys, if you look at some 80s electric music, the nightclubs and the scenery, women interacted more. It wasn't about materialism. It was about the music, the energy, the positive vibes. And I would say to a point as well, guys, they had a lot more emotional intelligence than our generation today, because look at us guys. We've had to freestyle masculinity. We've had to freestyle it, a lot of it, because our dads weren't capable of it. You know, so we've had to learn through trial and error and looking up to mentors to actually form our own identity. And plus going through the scolding of relationships.
Yep. Yep.
So
It's
I
sad.
don't,
It's
Me
a sad
personally,
time.
I don't see even 100 years. I think 100 years it may actually get worse.
Yeah,
It
I
may
believe
actually
so.
get worse.
I mean, you see what they're doing now. Imagine what it can happen in the future.
well, this is it. I mean, depending on how this goes with these magic potions, I'm going to tell you one thing, guys. This is very important. You need to know about this, right? Now, people have been taking the magic sherbet potion, right? They've been having children with born black eyes, where the children
Yeah,
at 3
I
months.
heard about that.
Well, here's one for you. Now, the women that taking the magic sherbet potion basically are procreating hybrids. Now, let me tell you about this. Why I said about repopulation. I've just finished off editing a video for BitChute tomorrow about the transhumanism, and basically it talks about once you get the magic sherbet and it does these magical things in your body, you're no longer human. You don't have human rights. Now, the reason why I say us unvaccinated are pure bloods, it's going to be down to us to help build the next society to a point. And I'm not saying that out of a simping way. I'm looking at this in a bigger picture, because what I've seen tonight on this transhumanism stuff, guys, is completely warped. I looked at some of these medical papers and it made me sick, because what it's doing to women now, because women obviously they want security. They want security, right, and they don't want to be anybody's enemy. They want the free handouts and the state benefits. Now, a lot of women are going to go to this fascism, communism. Some will be traditional women. Now, it will be up to every single red pill man's choice whether or not he will repopulate the earth or let the whole elite just take over and get rid of the genders of both men and women. It's going to be a black pill kind of scenario where we're going in relationships. So, like I say, it's going to be a thing where we're going to have communities of both men and women out the system, those who think like us, but not on the same of MGTOW Red Pill, but to cooperate in a sense of providing goods and services. It goes deep, guys. This paper of transhumanism is just sick.
Yeah, something about that just isn't right. I mean, not only have I been hearing about that, but I've been hearing about UFOs and aliens actually being disguised as our world leaders.
Yeah.
You know, if we was on BitChute, gents, right? Because I do a lot of my content on BitChute. Because if I was to bring Black Porn Stars back on YouTube, I'd get banned within instance. But if we had a live stream,
I would have gotten banned too if I started making content on here too.
Oh yeah,
because I'm on MGTOW TV, and even though I don't post as much, the reason why is because I've been busy with life and doing my own thing and stuff. But that doesn't mean I won't be coming in and talking with you guys. But I just don't do much on MGTOW TV because I got life ahead of me, and I own an apartment and trying to keep that under control. So, and I'm actually, you know, it's. Even though I'm in the MGTOW and everything, I've taken the red pill. I went through the rage stage, and right now I'm just a MGTOW man trying to survive. Right now, I decided to focus on my hobbies, which is Pokemon, and I've been doing a lot of Pokemon Go. So,
you know what though, you give me an idea about that, because I'm kind of the same now with the MGTOW. I mean, I've been doing MGTOW content for 4 years. I mean, I've got to admit, guys, I've had some good shits and giggles with the videos I used to do when I used to blow up as Red Pill on steroids. But I mean, I come to admit now, the way I'm seeing the manosphere devolve, there's only going to be a few of us who are authentic MGTOWs and Red Pills who can really stay in the group and not try to commercialize it, because of the way I've been seeing it going now. I mean, this is what I'm seeing in the manosphere, and it's swaying a lot. It's swaying a lot with the young men who are coming into our philosophy. Is that we've got people like Fresh and Fit who have been,
I heard about those guys. They're scammers.
Yep,
big time. And they were telling loads of men to buy their pickup courses and not date a gold digger. And that Fresh guy, he was caught actually dating a sugar baby on seeking arrangements.
And you know what I find this ridiculous about that? One person at one of my other jobs earlier 2 years ago was trying to get me to be a pickup artist, and I rejected that offer. because it wasn't worth it. And I knew what hashtag Me Too was, so I wasn't going to take that risk.
Yeah, and this is the thing, guys. I mean, I did pick up a little bit when I used to be a Jehovah's Witness because I didn't know how to approach women properly. And then when I did know how to approach them properly, I just started just nutting in them. And I realised that even when you go pick up, it feels very empty because, again, you're like a screenplayer, you're like an actor, you're having to write a script down, be somebody superficial. And again, it's like the wrestling of the spirits, you authentic self versus this sort of like superficial, the strong independent man who can take care of a woman, this beta provider. It just you've got to memorize all these lines. You've got to game women, seduce them into bed, and it's like it bores me because it's like the Olympic Games. Once you start going down the pickup route, you've got to keep on maintaining it. And this is where Fresh and Fit was saying about MGTOW, Kevin Samuels. Well, it's about lay count. Well, that's female. We don't do about lay count. If a red pill man wants to sleep around, he knows what he needs. He knows the risks that are involved with pumping and dumping women. And if guys pump and dump a lot of women, they become laboratories for these guys who've inserted the DNA. She has so many different personalities inside her because these Chad and Tyrones aren't committing that she's you could say a cum dumpster.
I mean,
you can also
guys,
go ahead.
Have you guys heard of this YouTuber named Ringo?
No.
His name is Ringo. He said I've been looking at some of his videos, and even he's actually disagrees with what Kevin Samuels is talking about, and I don't blame him. I don't trust Kevin Samuels either. I know did a video
you're right about that, though, Sigma. You're very right about that because I did a piece on Kevin Samuels because he was saying about show me a competitive MGTOW. Show me a strong, successful corporate CEO, and that's thinking female again, female thinking, because a lot of us, and this is how men define wealth. This is where Kevin Samuels thinks very left side of the brain, social hierarchy and status. You see, once you don't have a girlfriend, as you know, guys, you don't have a girlfriend. No. You live in your own. You're saving green. You're out of debt. You have no student debt. You have ownership of a house or ownership of a car. You've got money in the bank. You have assets, gold, silver, cryptos. You've got gardens. You grow your own food. You're prepping. You've got all these things going for you. And Kevin Samuels seems to think, because, Kevin Samuels is very meticulous with how he likes to present himself, but it's mainly for women because he knows, just like that other guy he called Derek Jackson, he promotes for women as well about being in relationships. But we can see that Kevin Samuels promotes relationships for women, and that's how his stream revenue comes from. But I'm afraid it's like females have kind of entered the manosphere.
The thing is that I don't agree with Kevin Samuels, but I don't agree with him needing to be shut down because as much as I don't like him, I'm going to still allow him to talk his nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
Because I ain't got to pay attention to it.
I watch him just for a laugh when he go off on women. That's about it. Yeah. And I don't agree with the relationship part because, and I had to go back what Eugene said that, women don't want enemies. Now, women are creating enemies, especially with men, because these men are actually getting tired of these women's BS, and these women are getting hurt, and these women are getting killed.
It's like
they're actually creating enemies. If you put it lightly,
RPM says with HMT, a man can only take so much disrespect before he blows up.
Do you know what though, guys? I want to ask you a question now because I do like this live stream. I like your setup, Red Pill Daniels. It's a fucking great setup, and I like the back screen as well. And it would be good to get back into doing more MGTOW, but obviously I know YouTube, the Gestapo, will be lording over this like a fly.
I got my first channel banned because I think I called Susan the Zealots.
It would be good though to have like Hammerhand RPM on these channels, like some MGTOWs and a private Red Pill channel where we can really go. I've spoke about once about like female nature on my Facebook, and a lot of people watched it, but a lot of women fucking hated it. Yeah, I kind of came out as a MGTOW black pill, but they didn't like that one bit. Sigma, we must have smashed out about 80 talking points, and all these beta males were fucking overloading. They were all the cognitive dissonance. It was like putting potassium in water. and watching it all sparkle. They just overloaded with so much. We dropped so many bombs on it. It was like it was complete like World War II, wasn't it?
Yep, they were basically just snapping. Like they were really incognito dishonest because they didn't think that we were going to be talking all that knowledge and facts.
Well, here's one for you, Sigma. They didn't even think that we'd be capable of having this sort of awareness, but the awareness that we've got, even with you, Red Pill Daniels, it blows a lot of people's minds. It's just centuries ahead of everybody else. It's like we've kind of de-evolved back to bestial animals where it's just about sex and instant gratification. And us red pill, black pill men, we've kind of seen past what the Matrix is. We're looking past the short-term gratification. We're thinking more about our health, our spirituality, our well-being, and being a visionary. You see all the world's conflicts of all these magic potion mandates and all this sort of like financial turmoil.
Which we
for
know
those
aren't
who have
even
been
legal.
prepared. Yeah. So we're sitting nicely, gents. We're having a cigar, we're having a fat Cuban. We're sitting back in our sort of kingly thrones, watching the world burn, and we've kind of got
I'm
our
in my
we've kind of
apartment, drinking some water, gonna relax, play with my Pokemon, watch
Yeah.
some shows, watching the world burn. Can't complain.
yeah.
Gonna be
I
celebrating.
just I just avoid people, man, especially women.
Hey, I can't blame you, man. I cannot blame you.
You know what though, guys? I was just writing a piece on Blackpool. Actually, I might even just read you a bit of my script I was writing.
Go ahead.
I'll read you.
Yep.
I'm writing this from a talk, and it says Blackpool nihilism. So it says this: how do we each define Blackpool nihilism in the Blackpool philosophy? It can often be perceived by the average normie as somebody who is doom and gloom, or a defeatist, or even an incel. This is not true. Blackpillers accept that reality, society is heavily feminized with toxic feminism, compartmentalized and fragmented religion and nationalism, and group identity politics. We see as a society there is a lack of interest in reading, books, philosophies, hobbies, arts, strong parental mentoring, mental health and well-being. It seems we live in a technocratic society with smartphones, tablets, dumbed-down celebrity television, simulated video games for the masses that provide instant gratification, a female consumer debt-based economy to compare with how much each other has with stuff to fit on the social hierarchy of the rat race. In society, people like us blackpillers, we get bored of small talk. We tire of the same old monotony of good morning when there's nothing meaningful back behind these conversations. You see, social media helps us create a false reality, a false persona of ourselves, our families, of our own true happiness. We create this prison system of needing validation to validate our own existence through the approval of others, through likes, comments, to feed our own narcissistic self and ego-driven personality. To put our own stamp for our own self-importance in society, in this illusory prison matrix, we can never truly measure our own self when it's dependent on other people. As men and women, we fuck like biological pack animals, fulfilling nature's own biological imperative of nature's law of procreation, fulfilling our own bestial nature on the lower level of humanity. The blissful dopamine of sex hits you like cocaine, and it robs a man of his own logical mind while he's in heat of the moment. We enjoy short-term gratification, that we enjoy the mind of mind-numbing education, dumbed-down programs that is engrafted onto our children. I know, finish now, guys.
All right, that's a good little story there.
Yeah, basically, I'm writing about the black pill because I know a lot of people go into, oh, it's about incel. It's like, it's not. Because, like you say,
I do hope that Hammer and RPM are in the stream. They could actually get some understanding of your interpretation of the black pill.
You know what it is, though? It's more, Red Pill's about female nature and the prison system, the Matrix. Nihilism is more about the feelings that we suppress, guys. It's the questions that we don't ask as children, or the questions that we're not allowed to ask. And when we don't ask these deeper, hard-meaning questions, where we go past our own sort of like gender, birth, nationality, religious belief systems, political narratives, it's like you think about the black pill being a bright star, and this bright star collapses in on itself, creates a black hole of nihilism, pessimism. It pulls everything into itself because it's questioning things through being objective, and having an objective reality, pulling things into itself. And it's like thinking turned against thinking. So you're trying to find fault with everything to find the most authentic expression of truth. That's all it is. Just short now.
All right. But yeah, a lot of things are happening now.
Yeah, and it's just to say where the black pill's just the end line of on the manosphere where you go through the darkness, the anger, the pain, but you go through it more on a psychological, deeper level, and then like the red pill, you have the optimism to master that and then leave it all behind and become more refined. It's just a refining process. Think about the red pill, guys. You went from blue pill to purple pill to red pill. It's like trying to refine gold. You're going to pour off all the impurities as you go through the change and get to the gold, the nuggets of truth that make you who you are.
Now, have anyone ever created their own pill, like the meat pill, for example?
Yeah, it would
I
be
don't get why. I
it would be
don't get
better.
why about the pink pill. I think it's fem cell cope mechanism.
No, what I mean is just like you create your own pill, you put things in there you want and things in there you don't want.
Yeah, and that can be kind of cultish
That's
in a way,
just
though, can't it, to the vulnerable man? Because unfortunately, guys, we don't have a lot of guys that are on our level in the manosphere. You know, we do have some
sadly
very smart. I mean, the people that follow us are very smart, and they're smart, and they follow Hammerhand and other people. But every man who's can really think out the box, you'll know he's red pilled, you'll know he's black pilled. He can go to depths with you. He can stay toe to toe. You know, and I think, like you say, I think these are more like areas of awareness that the pills that we go through. You know, they are like philosophies. I mean, this is like our philosophy of man. We're discovering our own thoughts, light
right.
and darkness. You know, and it's kind of just going through all that trauma, doing the shadow work, and coming out the other side. You know, as a man, and becoming more refined. You know, in all of it, it's about finding divine masculinity we've all got in ourselves. We're just unprogramming all the trauma of relationships and marriage and societal disappointments, isn't it?
Right. I mean, pretty soon I'm gonna have a lot of my family members turn against me because not only have I not been vaccinated, but I for one just am choosing not to get married in this system that's forcing people to wear a mask everywhere, even though that's causing some bacteria, ammonia, some shit.
You might want to take though, Sigma. Our advice is to you. You might want to take ivermectin, and you might want to start taking your vitamin D, because
Yeah,
when the people who've taken the magic sherbet potion will start to shed, and you need to make sure your immune system is up. Because I'm going to the gym and training, and I know people have taken the magic potion and they're shedding, and I'm getting sort of like skin irritation a little bit, but I'm okay. I've been taking my vitamin D's, training, eating healthy, but we might want to protect ourselves against that, because end of the day, look at it this way, right? If people take the magic potion, take the mark of the sherbet beast, and they choose to side with communism, then they're lost. To me, they're dead. You know, and there's no forgiveness for them, because
yeah,
you can always correct a stupid person because he has lack of knowledge, but a willfully ignorant person, there's no forgiveness for them. You might as well just tie them to a stone and throw them in the river.
yeah. That's just what it is.
Yeah, you got. I mean, this is the thing. Look at everything in life is temporary. You know, your
True.
family are the ones that can relate to you. It's not always bloodline related. I'm afraid. It's like whoever your soul connects to, who's on your vibrational level of awareness and understanding, and you can vibe with them. That's your tribe. You know, we're all here to find our tribe. And
Again.
unfortunately enough, the family members that we all have are very ignorant. You know, there's only a
Yeah.
small percentage in every family that's awakened. What we know.
Yeah, but the sad thing is, yeah, the sad thing is that some family members will never understand our POV. But you know what? I'm glad I got some new family in the MGTOW community. So
Yeah,
Mm.
and
My
this
that's a
is
family,
it.
blessing.
my family, I don't tell them about MGTOW or anything like that. You know, I just
In fact, they
keep it
actually
family
reported that.
orientated. That's what I do. That's the only
Funny
thing
thing
I do.
is that I never even had to tell them that I was MGTOW. They found out on their own, and I had to explain it.
I think what happened with me, I was kind of living two identities. And I think when my nephews came on and found my videos and he showed his mother about single parent mothers, man, my sister's got 7 kids, 6 kids, and she didn't like it. And then my family found out all my videos on female nature. And they thought, oh, you hate women, you this and that, and like blah blah. I
Yeah,
was getting, and I
yeah,
thought, well, you know what? I'm not gonna say I'm sorry, because I don't apologize for what I've said, because it's the truth.
yeah,
And since going Blackpool, it's great to cut people off that you don't need. You know, because I'm not, you know, with people who I fall out with over life, I've already mentally prepared the funeral for them, so I don't have to miss them or anything. It's just I've already seen the burial in my mind, so it's like goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the tragic part. I've already seen myself having to be a pallbearer at some of my parents' funerals, but you know what? I guess that's the way things are.
Yeah, and this is it because when people have that magic sherbet and they start clocking, which they will do next year, the clocking, they've got quite a few people clocking who've had the magic sherbet now. A lot of people being put into the special care. So, you know, funeral
Yep.
directors are filling up now. So it's only a matter of time. You lose your family members, but hey, fuck it. You can start a new life for yourself. It's all about you and your own identity because at the end of the day, nobody else cares for you apart from you.
Right.
You are the most important as your authentic self. You know, families are only going to there to try and manipulate you or to try and micromanage you according to their own selfish needs, you know, because families are narcissists. It's all about fuel and supply, what you give them. Again, ATM, like RPM says, time, attention, time, and money.
But you know what, guys? I'm going to lead the stream. It was good talking to you, Red Pill Daniels. It was good talking to you, Black Pill on steroids. I'm going to be leaving. The Skytime Battalion and I are going to have a great holiday season. To everyone that's watching the stream, hope you guys have a good holiday, good Christmas,
All right.
good Hanukkah. You celebrate Hanukkah, good Kwanzaa, all that, and Happy New Year. Long
And
live
happy New Year
MGTOW.
to you, Sigma. And you know,
Happy-
stay up, and we'll do these live streams again. You know, I'm just trying to get back onto live streaming again. So we'll
Hashtag
definitely do
long
so.
live MGTOW, guys. Long live
All right.
MGTOW.
All right, Sigma.
Definitely.
All right.
Take it easy, Sigma.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, buddy. So what do you want to
All right.
talk about then? Red Pill?
I'm gonna do one more question. Did you ever have to actually live with a woman or someone?
No. You know, instinctively as a kid, well, not as a, well, when I was 20, I always knew that marriage was bullshit. All I did was just, I was close to living with somebody, but I've had like just relationships where I meet them for like 7 months, you know, but I just can't get into a relationship where I just love a woman because I know she don't love me. You know, I always knew that. My instinct was always saying to me that don't stay with a woman because they don't love you. And I think for me, I would always see the cracks of a woman within 3 months. You know, I'd just stay for convenience, but then I'd have to end it. And then they start turning arsey. It's like being an alpha fuck. Never get over it.
All right, we had Mr. JJ Diesel, Cowboy. How you doing, Cowboy?
Hey.
Hi, brother Daniels. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Okay, today's
Eugene, how you
topic
doing?
is. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Eugene, how is he doing? It's been a while since I talked with him.
Oh, it's good to see you, JJ. I'll be back on to doing streaming in January because I've had a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff prepping and just getting right into it now. The meeting gritty, but yeah, we should have another. We'll have the round table back up probably on Fridays again next year in January, and we'll just start hitting it. Put some MGTOW out there. See how Facebook react. They're more tolerant on Facebook.
Sounds good.
All right, Cowboy. Today's topic is living by yourself versus living with someone. Your experience.
Yes, sir. I find literally I have less migraine headaches since I've been living by myself as of 2012, and I don't feel comfortable with even someone spending the night because the very people that take advantage of you are the people that know you're a good-hearted person, and I got tired of just going through that.
Yep. That was the same thing with me when I was living with my parents and my female friend. You know, they took advantage of it. They, started trolling, and like that was it. I had to move out.
And the stump behind the wheel too. These man haters. Well, guess what? I don't have a left turning signal, but I was in a left turning lane on my way home from another stop I made. Since I've been out, I'm at home now. But I had this left turning light, and I took off. And this black Chrysler made a right facing me. So this person was facing west, I'm facing east, and I'm trying to make a left turn. That person making a right. They had the red light, I had the green light, the green turning arrow. I stomped it and got in front of that car. I kept going. Then when I got to my street to make a left on, they come up behind me real close, and I stopped to see if they were going to actually hit me. They had to go around. This kind of stuff, that's the kind of stuff females do when they drive. Just be aware of it. I don't mean to talk loud, but it's just coming off of me because I just went through that.
They
That's
they
crazy.
they the worst drivers. Women, they're the worst drivers out of
Oh, tell me
all.
about it. I was on. I've got a Mazda car, and well, before I sold me with a Mazda car, I was on the corner just going up near because where I live in, I live in a street, a narrow street, but there's a little nursery just next to it, across the road, and I parked my Mazda in the corner, and a woman driving a van for old elderly people. She turned round and just came right round the corner without giving me enough space, scraped on my bumper, and drove off.
Wow. Yep.
She couldn't drive or anything. She just basically because they was having a party at a nursery, but obviously for the grandkids. So she just came and just scraped on my bumper, and I thought you. And she was in the 60s, so I thought, well, you can't really go to town there, can you really? But she was driving like a minibus.
I'll be back with you guys as soon as I can. I got to put my groceries up, my sodas, and my water and other little items, and put my phone on the charge and all this stuff. I got one of my neighbors that is just don't help me. So guess I get
Yeah. I'm gonna get ready to end the stream here. You know.
All right, yeah, because I've only been on for like 20 minutes. It's like nearly 3 o'clock in the UK. I've been working. I'm doing like working on 2 videos. So I've just thought I'll come on and just have a chat. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. So what else you been talking about tonight, Red Pill?
Yep. You know, I'm slowly building, my channel.
Yeah. What videos have you got coming in the process for you making your content?
So far I got one that stating that does therapy work for people, and I got other videos on my channel. I know the name of them off the bat, but therapy, in my opinion, doesn't work for people. It doesn't.
No, not always. Anyway, it's like you say. It's gonna have to be. You have to do it willfully. You have to really go in within yourself. You have to realize there's a change there. You can. It's like with Kevin Samuels. You can talk as much game to women as you want, or anybody else like self-help, or even Jordan Peterson. You can talk as much game, but the change always has to come from the self. And it's like people are just too lazy, aren't they? They're in a psychosis.
Yep.
Solutions need not just talk, but solutions with definite action. And and what I suggest is to find a hobby, find something that you always want to do, make a bucket list or something, and check them off as you go. Those kind of things. Find your purpose. Try to serve the purpose within your internal spiritual being while you're here in the first place. That kind of thing. And not work.
No, you're actually right, because I think us guys can have a laugh at what's going on in the world today. It's like you do have to find your hobby. You have to find what you're really passionate about, what's in your niche. You have to really explore yourself, don't you? It's like having a baptism when you go red pill and black pill. You're rebirthing again, aren't you? And finding all these things about you that you never knew you even had, for skills and abilities and what you can do. It's a good thing to explore yourself anyway.
Yep. And some of these therapists that actually, counsel people, at some advice, they can give the wrong advice. For instance, if a person's mad at you and you're trying to tell them to smile and laugh at them, that person can turn around and actually do harm to you, get you into trouble, you name it. My advice is just to stay away from the person. But these therapists tell people that, oh, you just smile and laugh at them, and that person may be really upset at you.
You know what though? I find that basic, like you say, I find that doing meditation where I can just go into nature, sit in nature, look at the rock, just go into space. I mean, I do DMT. It's a psychedelic from a plant, and basically it opens up the whole mind, opens up the conscious mind. You go into like a sort of like daydream, but like for 10 minutes, you get to access the pineal gland, you get to access your higher levels of consciousness. And we've all got this, guys, this DMT, this chemical, this pineal gland. It does exist, because it's been calcified with all the fluoride. But I do these little rituals where I take DMT, hallucinate, and I go see like infinity, creativity. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but I've realised taking DMT, it helps clear depression, it helps clear your thoughts, and it helps see an expanded way of the universe, how things truly operate. Everybody's got this ability to access infinite consciousness and awareness, and you'll see other deities and beings out there. People think that this is just a physical reality, but I've got DMT at home, and I do DMT every now and then, like every 3 weeks, and just see beautiful colours, radiant light, and there's no depression there. But we've all got this ability, this DMT, to open up our third eye, access higher consciousness, and meditate and see nature and just enjoy the basic things. I think for us guys, we just got to enjoy the simple things like nature, and just have gratitude, isn't it? Really, be grateful of the smallest things, because we've all got things in our house where we've kind of overfilled it, like with like TVs and couches and instruments and books and whatever. But when you strip it down, it's for us red pill, MGTOW, black pill men. It's the simple things, what's in our heart, really, what we find passionate.
Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream right here. It was a great stream. I'll see you guys later.
All right, then, no problem, Red Pill Daniels. Have a good one, buddy.
All right, I am Red Pill Daniels, and I am out.